Greetings, everyone. I am your tube citizen, jvoodoochild, and this is Manor Lords. We are playing in a beta patch in early 2026. The version number is 0.8.61. The original for this beta was 5.9, so we've gotten one patch with bug fixes and whatnot. And so here we are trying to play, what I thought was trying to be a casual game where I just can play and not worry about things, but just my Uber optimization mindset and knowing the game so well and how it mechanically works and what are the efficient ways to do things keeps on getting in the way. And so I'm just kind of at this point going to embrace that and just continue to play. I have no adversaries in this campaign. I have no negative effects in this campaign. And so it's just a matter of playing it out. I am trying to play for the beta, which is introducing the level 4 housings. My origin, I've gone with half prices on Burgess upgrades. This does not affect the backyards, unfortunately. Salt and iron import value reduction, that's pretty much useless given the kind of math involved. I kind of explain that later on if I start importing some salt or what have you. And then the increased regional wealth from Burgess plots, that's going to be kind of like my main way of making money. I am in the process of setting up a trade post for this edition for this recording, and we kind of see how that goes. But the negative is land tax approval has a greater effect, and so but since I'm going to be doing tithing, and I don't need regional wealth because I don't need mercenaries to defend off anyone. Do I really need 25 retinue when there's nothing for them to do? So I may not even tax at all, and just keep everything in the region wealth and just kind of use it from there. And I have lots of uses. Since I'm planning on going for level 4 housing, I want to make double plots everywhere, but because of my origin, I only want to have them as singles until I reach my cap, which I believe is going to be 50 plots. That is the kind of standard for the tavern. And so because I'm planning on having 4 families on like a veggie or fruit, their backyard extensions are going to be significantly larger. But I'm not going to make use of this for a long time, but the upfront costs are still going to be there. So, and I'm not using the overpowered void land because that should be really nerfed. And so I don't want to kind of depend on having that revenue stream coming in as far as how I kind of pace myself as I'm going through campaigns. So, as I said right now, it's almost time to start harvesting. I've got 1 ox out here running around doing plowing. I've decided I'm going to do 1 morgan of barley here, ember, and then what's rye in this half morgan plot. And then I'm going to carve out another morgan for the barley that's under these trees. This is going to be my second year of ember, and I'm going to have a little 5 section over here for flax. And then don't know what I'm going to do long term for all this ember area that I've reserved. This is a 300 plot that's kind of oddly shaped, and this is 500 plot that is going to be reserved for fruit and probably the most expensive one, pears or something like that. You know, maybe I will do a 500 plot over here and then over here, and it'll probably have the same endpoints. It'll just be wide enough to get the 500. And so eventually I'm going to carve out a section of these trees, but yeah, I mean, I can't even afford this stuff yet, so there's no rush there. I've kind of got my wood cutting right here. Here's my wood cutter. They're going to carve out these trees. Wood cutting, I've found, doesn't deforest areas that quickly. They can get a lot of firewood out of a single log, essentially. And so I don't know where I'm going to set up my forestry, but you know, it takes a full year, which is very unrealistic, in order to have a mature tree. I haven't gotten that set up quite yet. I'll probably get that going at the beginning of the year. And let's see here. Actually, I really should do that soon, but oh well, I missed that opportunity. And maybe the firewood would go back here. Maybe this is kind of where I replant stuff to be in and around the church. Here's where I'm going to put, I've got rich clay, got rich berries, and, you know, all this infertile land is still pretty good. I actually do have some double green here for ember. So this is going to be a major farm area when I get deeper into this. And I might actually pull out a flower person, so I can do 4-to-1 instead of 2-to-1 ratio. I have my thoughts about that. I will go over those in later videos if you've not heard them before. But barley doesn't have a whole lot. It's got a little bit right here, so probably 500 beside it, and then this barley plot. So like this entire section may go down. In fact, that's probably the next area I cut. We'll see. All right. This session is going to be a lot of planning. This map, the river map, is my favorite. Just the choke points with bridges. You do have a nice area from a defensive standpoint by grabbing these three and, you know, maybe fighting over the center. And you've got this thumb here, which I've always wanted to build a huge castle here, and, you know, just plow out all that forest. And I've gotten started on that a couple times, but never completed it. So but the problem with this region is usually your forage good is way out of here. And for this, since I was going for super casual, I wanted to have both of my food sources really convenient to the town. That way I can just live off of this stuff, you know, infinitely, and kind of grow at whatever slow pace I wanted. But no adversaries, so I can spread out and do whatever whenever. This area over here is also fun. Is it this? Yeah, this is this area. No, it's this area in the lake that I like. But there is a nice big ridge over there. I was noticing the other game. Yeah, so we got this area right here. Oh, so yeah, all right, that's in the center area. Yeah, I've built over here before. Sometimes I go for the center because I don't want to have that kind of brokenness with trade. So it's going to be a little further to get payoffs. And I was curious about whether I will be receiving more traders because I'm more centrally located. But I wasn't able to tell one way or the other. But anyway, let's plan for this stuff over here. My trade goods. And because I'm not going with Fortland with minor trade boosts, I'm just going to do a full cycle of clay into tiles and trade away those. Clay is only 1 silver. I think tiles are still only 3, but you know. One thing that's kind of good for that is this tile maker has a capacity of 250. And the reason why I'm thinking is I'm trying to figure out how I want to kind of lay these out. And so there's plenty of space to hold stuff, you know, when we get into our trade posts. Excuse me. So because I don't have these things built, I can't line up the eaves of them so much. So we'll just kind of have to go with the plots themselves. And all right, so I want to rotate that 90 degrees. So yeah, all the little visual things matter to me. All right. So I need to, all right, turn off this. So. Perfect. All right. Now for housing. Oh yeah, that's right. Just remembered something important. I am going to build down here. My manor house. And this kind of uses bridge as kind of like a toll area or whatever. So I'm going to carve out this area for that. And then I'm going to build houses over here. close can you get? I can build a little bridge section here. That'd be kind of cute. Alright, so can I get a double house over here? Let's go there. So we start getting backyards here. All right. All right, so that works. Now we've got a big section in here. So my next question is, and sorry, this is going to take a while. So I don't know what all these people are going to be doing, but I kind of want to get a rough idea of spacing in this area with the King's Road. All right, so a little bit more. That's less work to undo. Alright, so it's going to be cut in a little bit more than that, but... Oops. Alright, let's see about this. Yeah. Forgot to increase those plots. And I guess basically I'm trying to figure out if I can get a well and maybe 2 market stalls in here for clothing and firewood. That way the kind of trips are a lot less, even though it's in the backyard areas. Alright, so let's do this first. Alright, that looks nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably break those down in some roads as well. But when would they double up? Alright, so all those are doubles. And we got 5. Alright, when did they double? So we'll get 5 here. I like this. And 5's a good number for the apiaries. 10's not, but I may end up doing the apiaries elsewhere, but still. Alright, that works for me. Now, a well. Really can only go on the end. marketplace. All right, we can get 3 in there. Three there. We can get 2 there. Do we want 3? Let's see how much we can get here. We can get none there. So if we just do the full kit and caboodle, we'll get 4. I don't think I'm ready for that just yet. I'm not even sure whether I'm ready for the second one. So yeah, let's just put in 1 for now. And we'll run with this. Even though these do not look even, which bother me. And they're not. Okay. So adjust this road a little bit. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, that's even for that. You know what? I need to get a little bit more. Well, that's a lot steeper angle there. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Let's see how all this looks now. Alright, we got a problem right there. Alright, that works again. So let's see if this marketplace will still fit 4. Need to get that road a little bit more out of the way. Wow. I get even more in there. That's crazy. Alright, let's see how these houses look now. We need to get rid of these. Get them on the same angle. So this is the kind of planning I do for this game. There is an aesthetic that I like. This is going to be problematic. So a little tighter there. All right, that works. So all that's going on over there. We don't need you just yet. You are 4. And you are just timber. Not sure whether I want to be building you just yet. Yeah, I'm not putting that over there. But yeah, I can put a couple of these over here. So that'll work. Don't know where I'm going to be doing my sheep yet. I was thinking about doing barley production back in here. So do I want to move this a little further out so I don't have this kind of... Not sure whether that's going to bug me long term or not, particularly since these ends are not going to be planted anytime soon. So yeah, I'm 36 minutes into this video and I still haven't hit any progress on the date. A full hour to cover 5 days. Is that what I want? It's kind of not. So I do have a slight angle coming off of that. Actually, it's going to be a clean angle now. So do we want this to have a full off? Wow, that's just on the range of... So let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that's even off there. Okay. So I gotta do minus 90 degrees. So yeah, when you're switching between building things, that's nice. All right, that's much better. All right. So let's hit play. 40 minutes in. I'm going to wait till September before I move everyone out of here. Even though pretty much everyone's gone now. I did move one sick person over in here. Actually, no. Maybe it's not there. Did I move him over here? Nope. You were my sick person, right? Yeah. Well, let's put you over there. Ox guide.
We'll need to lift this beam to the roof.
So, just waiting for 15 more berries to pop up before the end of August. Or maybe even September 1st. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to do. Alright, so now we got that going. So I got 2 common stalls over here. Let's go ahead. Oh, cancel, cancel, cancel. We want common. We don't want food. Um. All right, just introduce some curves into the area. All right, one more shipment of planks over there, and I'm going to expand that. All right, only 58%. 3 more days. Oh, yep, we got another 15 there. All right, so do we have a animal here? No, we don't. Do we have a person there? No, we don't. We got 29 planks. Oh, because of the... so, yeah, let's get another person in there. Can we do that anytime soon? Probably not. So we're only going to be able to do the storehouse, not the granary, since we're building up the mine. But I don't know. Food production is pretty stable, so. All right, 24. And we're going to put this on very high priority. So whenever these ox get done with their present order, their next order will be to get those 2 logs over there, and then someone just has to wander over there and put some nails into the planks, and we are already there. And so we are at September 1st. And I think this is as far as I've gotten on this map. Me and my wonderful typing skills. Alrighty. So Let's isolate you anyway. Are you still sick? You are. I got one person assigned to so and I got one person coming in. And I think as soon as I turn this off, the ox is going to continue plowing over here, and then they'll start doing their thing over there. Now, I'm still not sure whether if I sow in September, whether all that will just go away in October. Okay, so you are going to finish off that. Well, everyone comes here. I wonder if all those people were like flattening land over here. So because I got all those plots going, you know, my population was scattered, so that's not good. Yep, so they're coming here to plow. So medium, but before this, but because this was the very first field, it got priority on the ox. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, are you at 100% now? So
Gave the old ox a handful of months old grass. You spat it in my face. You tried to carve me a new nipple.
So they are going to stop plowing here by hand. And then go down there to sow while the ox returns to the second field to be made. This was second, this was third, this is fourth. So yeah, you are still going to be doing your long circles. So I wonder if the other side was done.
Gets ready like this in the
Nope.
morning when I get out of bed. Says her head hurts.
So yeah, that's a bit of a waste of time. But you know, that's a part of this learning process of trying to figure out the game, how it thinks, how it prioritizes things. And then try and work around those known quantities for the future. So hopefully when this is sewed up, this will be done or near done. we got one log there. That's probably bringing the last log over there. All right, 91, so we're going to do a couple more laps. And you are done here. Yep. So I'm going to get 51 harvest from one Morgan at 38. So, let's put this on pause. Oh, it's still on pause. Okay. So, what are the workers doing while they're scattering going home? And how much of this field do we have left? 97. Probably a couple more laps there. All right, storehouse is done. All right, you are up and running. No telling. All right. So let's move one person over here to. You all are still sick. You're at 0, so you're good to go. I may check again for harvest on the herbs. All right, plowing is done there. So I was probably too slow on that. The ox has probably gotten in order to do something else. Dropping resource. Getting fuel supplies. All right. With your little ox cart plow. And it's going to do this by hand. That's kind of interesting. So at this point, let's unassign the ox. That way, this entire process over here doesn't get delayed. Or did that just tell everyone to go plow there first? So you just drop the plow and go do a wood log pickup assignment. Alright, how am I doing on housing? I've got one house going. It's almost done. Okay, I think I'm okay with housing. I'm ahead of the curve. Alright, it looks like you're going to come down here. And you are building here, but I hope that they start grabbing from this area. Alright, so you are 100% sowed, and you're only going to produce 29. So yeah, it's not a whole lot. And that's even on a longer year. Actually, yeah. So it's for the full year. So long term, I am going to have to do at least like 2 Morgan for a mid-sized town. So I'm going to probably get 2 Morgan over here. There's going to be a lot of wood on the ground.
Gave the old ox a handful of month-old grain. He spat it in my face.
I'm not sure whether I've got 3 Morgan over here and just like the 1 Morgan over here, or whether I'll just do half of whatever is here. Yeah, this will just be a backup. And while the last couple percentages there, they will start sowing. And it looks like they'll just go in reverse, so they'll just put down their hoe and put some seeds in the ground. So we're past an hour, so let me wrap it up here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. And please share with me your comments on this campaign so far, the beta patch, and or the game in general. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.